heck of a hiatus we've been on here.
Welcome back to Coffee and Pedals. Jonathan and Josh.
That's me.
It has been a bit of a hiatus.
It has, like almost a month worth of hiatus.
But it'll be well worth it.
Yes. We're coming back roaring with everybody's favorite type of pedal, the Overdrive.
Distortion pedals.
Ah!
Yes. Now you might notice a little change of scenery behind us here. A few more amps, a few more toys and goodies, which is cool. Those of you that follow us on all the socials may have heard the announcement recently that we are now at Tapestry Music Dealers for Friedman amplification, Soldano, Tone King, and Synergy. So this is very cool stuff. So we've got a whole collection of amps here that we're going to dig into. One of the amps tonight, but since it's the pedal show, we're going to look at the pedals because we got some cool pedals here. Yeah. So we got a couple pedals from Friedman, and we got one from Soldano.
Indeed.
Which is really cool. And to tie it all together, we are plugged into the Tone King Imperial Mark II. Wow. Which is a lovely sounding amp. It's about, 20 watts? 66?
You're going to have to tell me. I just showed up here and this was set up. It is pretty. And we've mostly heard it out of the clean channel so far. Beautiful reverb going on. Digging this little pearly light here. I don't know.
Yeah, it's white.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, we're just going to use the clean channel because we have a ton of distortion in these pedals here, which is cool. Although I will mention, this is a very cool feature.
Oh, yeah?
I've actually got the attenuator on a little bit because this amp, it's 20 watts.
Yeah.
But on the back of it, it's got their Iron Man attenuator plugged into it. And I was getting this going earlier, and I turned the volume up to where the amp was sounding really good, and it sounded great, but it was really loud sitting this close to it. And so I turned it down, and it didn't sound as good.
See, that's what happens.
That's what happens.
Tube amps. But
so what I did was I thought, let's try this out. Turned it up back to where it was, took the attenuator down like 2 clicks, I think.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, this is great. It's got the same sort of tone it had before, only quieter.
That's crazy how attenuation works, man.
There we go. It got my attention.
I see what you're going for there. We're going to try again next week.
Anyways.
Yeah.
We're going to dig into these Friedman pedals first.
Yeah, man.
So we got a few here. We got the Dirty Shirley, which is based on a Marshall JTM 45.
Okay.
So 60s to early 70s. Classic kind of gain.
Yep.
I always love playing through JTM 45s. They're a lot of fun. Then it goes like light years forward into the BE Overdrive.
I'm excited about this.
Stands for Brown Eye, and that's the mod that Dave Friedman was doing on some Marshall amps for Mr. Eddie Van Halen.
A certain distinguished, the late great.
Which became a very famous mod that a lot of people love. But it's a ton of gain. Holy smokes.
Yeah?
And then we're going to keep on trucking with the Soldano Super Lead Overdrive, which is not short on gain either.
No, very distinguished looking pedal there.
So,
yeah.
Clean sound.
Okay, let's a little of that. Fancy chords over here.
Yeah, totally. I'm using this. We're not dealers for PRS, but this is a very cool used Custom 24 that just came in, and I was like, this seems like the right guitar for the job.
Yeah,
so,
I feel. Yeah.
Pretty cool. It's about 20 years old, and it's actually got Seymour Duncan pickups instead of the PRS pickups.
I see.
I dig, because I use a lot of Seymour Duncan pickups, and I think they sound awesome.
Sure.
This is a 59 in the neck, which is just, give me a 59 any day of the week.
Come on, yeah.
The PRS pickups, they're good pickups, but I'm always like, they're a little like too good. Is that a thing?
Yes, it is. I mean, depends who you ask, because like PRS makes great pickups, but
just a little too clean, a little too clear, a little too perfect. There's a little something funky missing. So having the Duncans in there is really cool.
Totally.
And this one also, you don't see this very often. It's got the like moon inlays.
I was going to say it's got a
birds.
Very distinct lack of birds on there.
Yeah, the birds are kind of polarizing. Some people dig them, some people don't.
I get it.
I like the moons. I think the moons are cool.
My question is, where did the birds go? Where did they fly off to? Only time will tell.
I wonder if they would build me a custom PRS with like cat inlays.
That would be sick.
Could I get like little cats all on
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
They got that Fender acoustic with the dude from Rancid. Armstrong, Tim Armstrong. Ooh, sorry guys. He's got.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? And it's got like the little.
Yeah, he's got like the like Halloween scary cat on there.
That's a fun one. I, on the other hand, conversely, am playing a Guild Polera Kim Thale of Soundgarden fame.
Nice.
It's regrettably not in drop D or any kind of weird tuning, but them the breaks, man. I like it.
That's the way it goes.
It's an SG. It's for me.
All
Anyway,
right. So let's dive into the Dirty Shirley.
might as well.
You want to hit this one first?
Yeah, sure. What the hell?
Let me switch it over to
Okay.
you. Here's your clean sound.
My clean sound. Or do you need that in an E major chord? I don't know. Give me some gain, man.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's like dirty,
It's-
nasty.
It's like dirty. It's like Shirley. This
They should call it Dirty Shirley.
they should really wait a minute.
All right, that's gain like halfway up.
That's sick.
Let's
give me a little
see
bit.
what a little more does.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, man. Classic rock all friggin' day long.
Totally.
That is sick.
There's a little switch on the side here. It's the tight switch.
Oh, tell me more about it.
I think it came out of the box with it up. I think this
Okay.
is the less tight.
All right.
Just play like some kind of chunky.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, if it's down, it seems to be the tight.
Yeah.
When it's up, a little looser, a little more oomph.
A little more kutzpat to it.
That's cool.
I'm down. I'm down with that.
I was messing with the EQs a little bit. You probably see on the Pedal Cam 2000 there.
Hello.
Dialed up the presence a bit, dialed it back down, and then give you a little scoopy thing.
Yeah.
Let's just hear what the mid knob does.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay,
we're
here we
done.
go. Same kind of riff here. Quite versatile here.
There you go.
That gets like pretty, I don't know, like Sabbathy, and then you kind of take it down and you get a little more, I don't know, Steppenwolfy. I'm pulling
Yeah.
these out of thin air here.
I think they suggest using it too as like a boost pedal too.
Sure.
So if you got an amp that's already a little dirty,
Yeah.
or a lot dirty, I suppose, dial the gain down on this, dial the volume up, hit that amp a little harder, and boom.
Very boom. Very boom indeed. Well, should we hear what it sounds like through some Seymour Duncans?
Yeah, sure.
Why not? Take it for a
not?
spin, man.
Okay,
Come
let's-
on. How
let's
much
see.
gain you want? Let me set
Where
you in
were
here.
we?
That looks
Stick her
pretty good.
back into the middle there.
Sure.
All kinds
Okay. Nasty, man.
That's fun.
That is really fun.
It's more like amp sounding than like overdrive pedal sounding.
Totally. Yeah, it's not like it's not no shade on the boss, but it's no SD1 or anything like that. No, OD1, my bad. This has got that real like bloominess that you'd expect from a Marshall E type of guy. Mm-hmm. Very into that.
Cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
I like it.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
So the BE-OD takes that gain and multiplies it by like 1,000%.
I'm scared.
Like, seriously.
Let's go.
Very different flavor.
Yes, I should say so. So this based off of like an old school Marshall type of thing. This is based off nothing but an actual like Friedman amp. Is that, do I have that right?
Yeah, so it's based off their BE-100,
Okay.
I believe.
Sure.
Which is based off of a Marshall amp.
This makes sense. I'm sensing a theme in the color coordination.
I think the theme in the whole Friedman line too is they're all based off of Marshall amps.
that's their thing.
That was kind of his thing. I mean, Dave Friedman, I mean, the history that I recall for him was in the 90s, early 2000s, he was in LA.
Okay.
And he was building like touring rigs for big name guitar players.
The big guys.
So he'd be putting together like rack systems and MIDI switching systems when that was all kind of the only way to get one was like to get someone like Dave Friedman to build you this custom kind of thing.
A master.
So he was doing that, and he was modding Marshall amps for guys like famous players who come in. They want their Marshall amp modded for more gain.
Sure.
I don't think anyone had them modded for less gain. It's usually more gain.
You just buy a Fender amp, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, totally. And then when he started building amps under his own name in the 2000s, first it was Marsha amps, actually. They were Marsha.
That's...
which was very cute, except he got a cease and desist order by...
the Brady Bunch.
No, I believe it was Marshall.
That makes a lot more sense.
But anyways, Friedman amps were born, so I think they're all kind of based off his mods for Marshalls, in particular signature amps that he does too, because he does a lot of, like he would build them for these players, and then did signature amps for like, there's a Steve Stevens model, there's the Jakey Lee model.
Oh, Jakey.
Right
that's Jakey.
That's one of the newest ones.
Yeah.
There's like a Phil X model.
Sure.
There's
This is the Motley Crue guy,
Mick Mars.
That's the one.
I don't know if there's a signature one for him.
I saw his name earlier on the internet. Must just be sticking in my brain.
But they do a Bill Kelleher one for Mastodon.
Yes.
They do the Jerry Cantrell one, of course.
Yep. Cool.
So lots of signature models.
Awesome.
That are production models too. But yeah, lots of cool Marshall stuff.
Yeah, man.
But anyways,
it's my turn.
Back to now. Let's switch it over to you.
Okay.
And let's.
Yes, indeed. You might say it has a little more gain than the Dirty The Hurley
Shirley.
Yeah. She's still here, and she's still so cool, but that scratches an itch.
That's a lot of gain.
I will definitely say that.
Now, I noticed on this one,
Yes.
well, actually, the first thing I noticed as I was turning the knobs, these are
Right.
very powerful tone controls on here.
Yeah.
Like, you turn the treble a little bit, it's like, boom, tons
Sure.
more treble. So they're very effective knobs. But so where the Dirty Shirley had a 2-position tight switch, this one actually has a tight knob.
The knob, yeah. I'm
So you
seeing
can
that.
tighten your knob.
Okay. Well, I hope they'd be secured on there properly from the factory.
That is true.
That.
So let's hear that.
All right, sure, go for it.
Ready?
Oh,
Well, there you go. Varying ranges of tightness.
quite, indeed. It's a little, it threw me off, not that last run, the run before that, adjusting the tones, and it's so sensitive that, like, it gave me a little bit of a, whoa! That's, I'm going to blame my sloppy playing on that, actually.
Well, you can't blame the pedal. It's just not possible.
I blame you.
True.
One thing that I feel like maybe I'm not the only guy who is going to ask this question when I see this knob on these pedals, but there is, we know what it stands for, but it says Prez, which we know stands for presence. But like, what actually does that mean? Oh,
Crickets.
I'm like, oh, great guitar guru, please.
So I think people will undoubtedly correct us in the comments here.
Yeah, please, dude.
I mean, I always think of presence as being sort of like you've got your bass, you've got your mid-range,
Sure.
you got your treble.
Yeah.
Presence is kind of like higher frequencies
Sure.
than the treble has. So it's a little bit more of like your attack and
Okay.
pick noise
Yeah.
and string noise and stuff
see
like
that.
that. But I believe it is like a tone control, like a treble control in a different place in the amp too. Like it's later in the circuit. So
Right.
Any amp wizards, please chime in and give us
Maybe.
the technical specification. But it's kind of
Yeah.
like a treble thing, but it's a
Sure.
little different.
I've heard like the term high frequency filter like being thrown around in relation to that. I
Yeah.
think if those words mean anything for you, then great.
Never heard of them in my life.
Never even
Mean
heard
nothing to me. High frequency? What?
Ah.
You're just making up words.
You know.
But yeah, it's sort of like
yeah.
some sort of upper end treble type control
Cool.
that has a scientific reasoning for being there, but
Sure.
helps to make you sound better or worse depending on how you said it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do with that little weapon what you will. Well, you got
Well,
presence. You got
very
tight.
interesting. Because the tight's more the bottom end.
That is going to control the
It's
bottom
the
end.
bottom
yes.
end, whereas the presence is
Yes.
top end. So you got your top and your bottom.
Makes sense as well. as
And
bass
everything in
treble.
between.
Yeah. Wait, you don't have a mid control on this guy, I just realized.
Oh yeah, you don't.
Yeah, how do you like
this one you get
That
the
does.
mid control.
Yeah.
This one you get a tight control.
Consider the following.
Did I miss the mid control? Not really.
Not really, man.
Would I have played with it if it was there? Yeah. Would I have gotten better sounds out of it?
It's up for debate.
I don't know.
Frankly, I don't know if you can get better sounds than just a whole lot of gain on a badass
Do we have
guitar.
a middle control on the Soldano? We do.
We
Okay.
do. We do not, however, have one on the Imperial, which
No.
there's distinct lack of mids.
That's true.
Or maybe,
Although most, I think, smaller Fender amps
Yeah.
from that era didn't have a mid control. Once you get up into like twin reverb, it's got a mid, but
that's a good point.
Deluxes, Princetons,
Yep.
it'll either be just a tone knob or treble and bass.
I don't miss it. I really don't.
Yeah, for sure. I remember a long time ago, I was getting a stereo in my car.
Okay.
And I went to the stereo place, and I was like, I want a 10-band EQ in there because I want to be able to like adjust all the mids and stuff like that. Because all I had was a 2-band EQ, and then
Sure.
the guy that was there completely blew my mind. He said, "Well, you know, because I wanted to turn up the mids.
Yeah.
I couldn't without a mid knob. I couldn't turn up the mids."
Okay.
And he's like, "Well, if you take the bass, you turn it down. You take your bass, turn it down.
Right.
Take your treble, turn it down. Turn your volume up. It raises the mids." I was like, whoa, that blew my mind. And he was right. I was like, holy smokes.
He's a genius.
In some ways, all you need is a 2-band EQ, and you can
Sick.
probably get anything you want.
Yeah, I guess
As long as
so.
you know what you're looking for.
Okay.
Anyways, Soldano.
Soldano.
Super Lead Overdrive. So this
Yeah.
is the pedal version of the infamous SLO 100.
Oh, the slow.
Which
Uh-oh.
I happen to have one sitting right here.
Is that in the shot?
Just right on the edge of the shot there. So we'll dig into that in another video
That's cool.
because it's a very cool, very powerful, very famous, very loud amp. But
Yeah.
for today's purposes, the pedal, which is pretty freaking cool. Let's see how this one sounds.
I think it's me.
You're going there? All right.
Well,
go for it.
apparently. I mean, I just
See what it does.
playing some riffs here. Hey, that is a pretty good first impression, man.
That one is like nasty.
Yeah.
Seriously nasty.
It's got some nast.
Like it's
to it.
it's gainy. It's not as like super gainy as the BE-OD.
Yeah.
But it's like got some nasty to it. Like, I would say like on the nasty scale, like the Dirty Shirley was kind of like maybe a 6 or a 7.
Sure.
The BE-OD, it's more saturated and compressed. So
Yeah.
to me, on the nasty scale, it kind of brings it down a little bit.
Fair enough.
It's super gainy, but I'd maybe give it a 5 on the nasty. But
Yeah.
this one's more like maybe a 9 on the nasty.
That's raw, man.
It's very raw.
Yeah. Which is a
It's
little.
not polished and
No.
pretty. It's like in your face. Boom.
Frankly, looking at this pedal, I would kind of expect it to be a little more polished and what have you. Purple light, stark white pedal. It's a little surgical looking, to be, frank. But hearing it gives me an entirely different notion.
Well, it does cut like a knife.
Ah! No, I'm done. But it feels so right.
It does. It really does. Here, let me see. Does it feel right?
You better switch yourself over. There you go.
Woo!
Hell to the yeah.
It feels very right. That is killer.
That is cool. One detail that I love about this little pedal here, it goes to 11. Have you noticed?
Oh, yeah. They all go to 11.
They all go to
the
11.
knobs go to 11.
Right across the board.
These ones don't have any numbers.
Done.
So we don't know what they go to.
No, I know. You could say they go to any number you like, but I feel like 11 is probably one of the most hard rocking numbers around.
It is. Goes to 11.
We can't
great.
help ourselves. Outdated references are just what we thrive in.
Aren't they doing a remake of that?
Yeah, I think I have heard that.
Or
Like,
they've been trying to do it for a while or something. I don't know.
I feel like I've been hearing about it for the past 3 years and have yet to see anything.
I, for one, would be in favor of a remake of Spinal Tap, as long as it's good.
Not so much a remake.
Make it good.
Make it so.
There's also another little trick on this one. There's a deep button on the side.
Oh, the deep. Yes.
The deep.
I've heard about the deep.
The creature from the deep. Let's see. So same settings.
go.
No.
Shall we go deep?
Let's go a little deeper. That is very deep. It's punishing. It's
That-
making our little 20-watt Tone King Fender style combo sound like a mean fire-breathing machine.
Yeah, that is
Holy
evil,
smokes.
man. Well, I'm gonna start
That's
saving
very
up
cool.
some money here. This is nice. I feel like these pedals are this particular pedal and those particular riffs may be craving some down tuning, but even in standard like that, yeah.
I know you just want to like kind of riff with this pedal, and you're
Yes.
right. As you're riffing, you're like, now I want a guitar that's tuned to drop D, and then you're like, now I want something in a lower tuning. Maybe we plug in a 7-string. I don't know.
Maybe.
Let's get wild.
The applications, the imagination really is the only cap on what you can do.
I'm very curious to plug into this guy, the real deal, and see how that stands up,
Talk
because
about it.
this is pretty awesome.
Plug in the slow into the slow.
No, we'll just plug straight into the amp.
Yeah, I
Crank it.
guess.
We'll do that as soon as this video is over.
Call the cops. We don't care.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Very fun.
So this is a very interesting roundup of the dirt boxes available from Friedman and Soldano. There's also a BE Deluxe, which we don't have here today.
Yeah,
That's
the big
like
boy.
2-button version
Right.
of that one.
Was that 2 gain stages then, or?
I don't know. I'll have to check it out. Probably
haven't
there's a
looked into
boost
it.
in there or something, I would imagine.
I could see it.
I mean, it doesn't need more gain, I'll tell you that. That's a lot of gain.
I don't know what you
But,
do with another button.
We've kind of got the gamut covered here. Like this,
Yeah.
the Dirty Shirley's kind of got your like classic rock into like classic metal
Sure.
or
Yeah.
boosting blues type stuff. I mean, to me, the Soldano SLO, that's kind of like hard rock, getting into metal territory.
Absolutely.
The BE-OD kind of takes off from there. That's your modern, super saturated,
Yes.
loads of gain. I
Absolutely.
mean, if that pedal doesn't have enough gain for you,
Buy a metal
I don't
zone.
know what it does. Yeah. Then you need a metal zone, or maybe 2 metal zones.
Exactly. This is nuts. They call it an OD, and it's like, that's distortion. Like, straight up. I mean, I don't know where y'all draw the line on OD versus distortion, but when it gets that hairy, I'm kind of like, I feel like that's a distortion pedal now. But whatever it is, I am glad it's here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jeez.
Well, on that note,
I got
I
nothing
think
left
we're
to
ready
say.
to conclude today's episode. Thanks everybody for watching. It's been
Yeah.
a lot of fun playing these high gain, fire breathing dragon pedals into a little amp in a big amp that sound really amazing. So thanks everyone for watching. Do like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I don't know, we'll go out with a cheers.
Let's
tonight,
go
I
with the
think.
cheers tonight. Yeah, man.
Yeah, cheers.
It's good to be
Good
back.
to be back, indeed.
Hey.
Cheers.
Roll credits.
Indeed. Roll the SLO. Thank you. Good
Yeehaw!
night.